excited about moving forward with our party? Yeah, I'm excited too. It should be a really good party. Just got a couple more questions before I sign the contract. So if you don't mind, let me just get out my questions here. One, what kind of lighting do you use? Specifically, do you use Chauvet? Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Chauvet lights, but I have a lot of other ones. There's a lot of good companies out there. Okay. Do you use RCF speakers? No, I use JBL and QSC, depending on the size of your party, but they're all good speakers. Last question, the most important question I have. Do you mix in key? Do I mix in key? Well, I mean, I've been DJing. I was at a party once and the DJ played a transition that was completely out of key. I could not unhear it, ruined my whole night. Can I see your Serato mixed in key playlist, please? What is going on? What is going on? Everybody in the house, what is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Wake up, tech. Cleveland Terry Show. Whatever you want to call it, we're doing it. We're doing this hybrid thing today where we're doing every single show that we've ever done. And that's okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome out today. What is today? Today's the 11th. It is a nice day. It's about 40 degrees in sunny Southern California. It's been about 40 degrees for the past week. And I know you people on the East Coast are acting like we are, babies. Which we are a little bit, but this is our norm. We're used to it. So when it's 40 degrees, it's cold. It is cold, cold, cold for us. So we deal with it. We deal with it. But I'm not liking this always having to wear multiple layers just to go outside and jog for a mile or two. That's frustrating. Hope everybody's doing great. I am doing great. We're going to make sure the volumes are up. Yep, I see my audio card is working. And we're going to check the comments in just a second here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, let's bring up this comment section. I did wake up to something rather cool, which we should definitely talk about. And that is the MPC getting stems, which chat. There we go. Which is totally amazing. It's impressive. I'm very happy that that MPC is getting stems. I don't even use MPC anymore, but when stems came out, like legitimately when stems came out, my first thought wasn't DJing. That wasn't what I thought stems was the most needed for. It's cool to have. Yes. Does it make my life easier? Absolutely. Does it allow me to be, more creative on the fly? Absolutely. Could I still DJ without it? Yes. But with music production, it is absolutely necessary. It's one of those things that as I spent my entire life frustrated that I couldn't pull something out of something, or I didn't want to hear this, or I wanted to extract this, and you couldn't do it before. I was making music, and I intend to actually make music again, but I was making music, back in the 2000s, 2000s. Yeah, you did have your MPC 2000 XL, which I had, but there were no real options. There were no stem extractors. If you didn't know somebody with the stems, You were just out of luck. You were just out of luck. And now every single program has stems. Look, could I be jealous? Could I be frustrated that there's so many people with a much easier entry point? I kind of imagine it's like the person that was riding a horse all his life, just forever. And then finally, car, Model T pops up. And this guy's like, what do you mean? I can just sit here and just drive and I can get there faster? Thinking about all those people that traveled from like, the Midwest all the way to like California and the Dust Bowl and people dying on the way because it was an unsafe trip and you had babies and old people and you would die as you would go. And then there's a plane that you just get in now and you can drive or fly from one coast to the other in like 5 hours. I'm not mad that people are able to get this cool stuff. I'm not mad. But would it have been nice when I think back of like how much better I could have been? A little jealous. I'm a little jealous. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. But it's going to make it a lot easier to extract. Now the question is, are those tried and true NPC people going to really embrace it? Because I think that there is a don't tell me wrong attitude. You have wrong attitude. I don't have wrong attitude. All I have is an opinion. Wrong attitude. No such thing. Would it be? I'm interested to know how some of those loyal NPC people are going to feel, because when they start to extract the stems and they're super clean. I mean, one of the backpack kind of grimy notions of NPC work is, you're pulling stuff in and that sample and that analog sound and that kind of, analog compression, like all of those things. The crackle, all of those things will kind of be gone. And you're going to be left with this really pristine sound. I'm just curious. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I'm wondering if like if somebody is trying to take a drum beat, a lot of times when you would take those beats, maybe there was a tail end of a bass line there. Maybe there was just some extra like just compression on that snare because the way the sound hit it and you're extracting that one snare. Is it when you pull it out, pause, how are you going to like it? Is it just as clean? Anyway, DJ Kevin says it's probably the same engine as Prime 4. I thought that too. That was actually my first thought. That's my first thought. My second thought was, I hope not. not the stems that I heard. And I know they're gonna continue to upgrade them, but if it's those stems, I'm not quite sure how much they're going to be used. I mean, obviously there has to be a point where processing power of the MPC, is better than the Prime 4, so they're able to do more with it, because the Prime 4 Plus stems I didn't love. Now, I haven't touched them in a while, so I haven't heard the updates in a while, so it's hard for me to say. Have there been updates? Mac Joseph says it sounds great. Okay. Well, I'm not going to doubt anybody out there. If they say it sounds great, then it sounds great. But, the benefit here is that it's good to be anybody in the. So I think what's going to happen is Uh, this is the calm before the storm. What I mean by that is there's always that case where it's like difficult, and then some new technology or some new whatever makes the process easier. New process, I should say. From there, and then it kind of gets spread out to the masses, and then it gets to a point where everybody kind of just utilizing it the way it's supposed to be done, and it kind of loses its specialty. And then it gets so simple that it doesn't even matter anymore if you use it or not, you know? And with things like AI, with things like this, all it's doing is just slowly getting us to a point where they don't need us. It's a strange world we're living in. You know, it's a strange world when we're literally welcoming in like our destruction. Look how easy everything is. Well, it's going to get so easy that people aren't going to be working. And while I have said that no DJ can read a crowd, no AI can read a crowd, I'm pretty sure that at a certain point, they may start to come close. And when that happens, they're not going to need us anymore. And then when you factor in all of these things, stems and, you know, every song at your fingertips, AI music generation, sky isn't falling. I'm not saying that, but I am saying the reality is it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I'm glad by that time, you know, I'll just be an old man. But my kids and my kids, different story. I did want to open it up and see. Plug in the wrong one. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the comments here. I saw Ratbone in the building. What is going on, Ratbone? Good to see you. It's been a minute. I saw Philip Tan, Mac Joseph, Mixmaster G in the building, DJ Gino, Keith Just. Who else we got? Vince Boyd, LL Coil J, AJ. It's DJ SMS. DJ SMS in the building. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. That man right there is one of the hardest working DJs that I've ever seen. And I give him props every time I see him. Good to see you, bro. He's dope individual. Max SPL, Kalo, Balancing All Things. And I have to blow my nose, and then we'll get back to everybody else in half a second. I need something quick.
Yo, I just booked my first wedding. Yeah? Dope. When is it? Next week. Can you believe it? Next week. Okay. Do you have any gear? Yeah. I have two 12-inch speakers. Okay. Well, you might want to rent or borrow somebody's sub. Okay. All right. That's cool. What about microphone? You have a microphone? Well, I have a corded microphone. Yeah. Again, you might want to go out and rent or borrow somebody's wireless microphone. Okay. A week from now is pretty quick. Do you have all the music? Do you have everything they need? I have some music, but I have like my SoundCloud streaming service, and if I need to, YouTube. How much are they paying you? Bro, 6 hours plus the ceremony, $300. Oh, you're good. Yeah? Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Have a good time. Sweet. Thanks, man.
Okay. What is going on? I'm going to change my hat. I was feeling like I was looking a little too Denzel Washington meme, and I need to get out of that. So we're going to go ahead and change that up. 5-star entertainment. Waiting on those white QSC column arrays. Okay. All right. I'll give you that. All right. Let's see what we got here. Fonzie Double in the building. Island Boy in the building. Mike Feliciano. Good to see you. G5. Okay. Gallifrey. All right. So, I mean, it'd be great if I could test stems without it demonetizing me. We will give it a try. I mean, we'll play some samples anyway and see how it sounds. Take a look at it. Okay. We are teaching us out of a job. Exactly. They will always need the sauce, says Coil J. Coil J, you are incredibly optimistic and I love it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because the reality is, if a business, if a company, if a music production house, fill in the blank. If they don't need you to do the job, they're not going to hire you. That is the absolute fact. No matter how much we try to say, oh, this, if they can get by with 70% of what you do and get the same kind of output workflow, they're going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead because it's going to become this thing where only the upper end people are going to hire DJs. They're going to hire certain things, you know, the production. They're going to bring in that kind of specialty producer that they want to be able to say, oh, by the way, this person is producing my music. I didn't use AI for everything, you know? But the rest of them, the rest of the DJ jobs, the production jobs, a lot of people are going to be happy with the status quo. And you know how we know this? Do you know how we know this? Simple. This right here, this phone. People watch full-on movies on these phones now. Full-on movies. Could they watch it on their TV? Yes. Could they go to the theater to watch them? Yes. Are they content watching them on their beds like this? Absolutely. The new generation doesn't care. They don't care. It's convenience. Where people are like us are like, if I'm going to go watch an action film, I'm not talking about some comedy or whatever. I'm going to watch an action film. It needs to be on the big screen. If I'm going to watch a Christopher Nolan film, I got to see it in the theater first. But there are people out there right now that do not care. They will watch it on their phones. They don't care about 8K. They don't care about all of this because their phones with their 1080p screens or worse are just as good. Anyway, get off my lawn. Hi, CT. Everyone, has anyone else here, I assume, heard about the leak from Pioneer? NDA. So even if I had a leak, I got nothing. I got nothing. I haven't seen, it is now the 11th. And up to this point, I have not received, I'm just being honest with you. Up to this point, I have not received one sample piece yet of any product from anyone. Nothing from InMusic, nothing from Pioneer DJ, nothing from no one. So right now, I got nothing. I'm in the dark just like you. Now, could I call around and force issues and get information? Absolutely. Do I care? No, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. The product will get to me when it gets to me. And if I happen to go to NAMM, which I am going to NAMM, and on Thursday, there's a product that I haven't seen yet, I'm going to be just as excited as you. Just as excited. So, and I'm doing a live stream. Oh, Thursday. There you go. So on Tech Thursday, Cleveland Terry Show, whatever we call the goddamn thing. on Thursday, which is the first day of NAMM, I will be doing a live stream. So probably only an hour, the live stream cameras and Wi-Fi and all that stuff. I'm sure I can probably only get about an hour out of it, but we're gonna do that live stream there. So that will be the day of our traditional talk show. Will it be at 10? I don't know. Depends on how early I get there, in all honesty. Because I'm not getting a hotel until Thursday night. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so you might be seeing things as I see things, and that's okay. I know that right now, just gonna need someone to carry the 18-inch subs. Nope, they don't need that. We've already. PV Al says they're gonna need someone to carry the 18-inch subs. We can talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about that. You can't have it both ways. What do I mean by that? I have been watching enough videos, enough gig logs, enough community forums to absolutely know that half of you DJs, it could be higher. I don't want to assume anything, but half of you DJs, I'm convinced, don't care about the sound you're putting out. I'm convinced half the DJs, at a minimum, do not care. What do I mean by that? Well, you guys are rocking column arrays acting like they're the best, largest, loudest, biggest, bassiest speakers known to man. Oh, I use some Evolve 50s and them things hit. They're fine. Oh, all I need to do is grab my Evolves, and if I need a little more bass, I'll just grab one more Evolve and I'll just play. It's not the same. There's a video right now, or a post on idea sharing about this guy that said, I don't always use my Evolve 50s, depending on the room, depending on whatever, you fill in whatever he said. I use this. And he pulled out his, like Yorkville subs or whatever. And I'm just reading through the comments, and a lot of those comments are, which I don't disagree with. Okay. But there's this gray area. A lot of people were saying, the dance floor is not really big enough to support the system you're using. And then other people would chime in and say, well, it's not about the dance floor. It's about the size of the room. And then other people would chime in, and I'm just sitting there going, none of you are right and none of you are wrong. And I say that because it always depends. There's so many variables in deciding which speakers to use. But the facts are, the simple fact, I would rather have too much sound than not enough sound. I would rather have to turn down my volume than not have enough. That is how I kind of run things. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm bringing in smaller speakers for a smaller room, knowing that I have 200 people. Okay? That still doesn't change. People depends on the size of the room. No, I mean, it does. It absolutely does. But that's just one little aspect. If people are cramming in 300 people in a room that normally says, we do, say 150, whatever, my LD Maui 28 G3s are not going to do the job. They're not going to do the job. They're not going to be loud enough. Now, that's a small room. So technically speaking, small dance floor, small room, the small speakers will be fine. Yes, but no. You need bigger speakers. Now, would I say that just because I'm sitting in a room that can house 400 people or 500 people, Does that mean that I'm going to bring, you know, 4 18 subs, 4, 15-inch, 12-inch highs wrapped around? Absolutely not. If that room can accommodate all that, but there's only 100 people coming to the party, that is a waste. That makes no sense. So I'm not doing that. I will shoot it up. It'll fill up the dance floor and it'll extend out. But I'm not trying to dance grandma that happens to be sitting in the far back to avoid the noise. I know that my line arrays will still hit them vocally. They're just not feeling the bass. So you have to kind of figure out what makes sense and what makes sense for the party you're doing. Not just, okay, let's just make it all be the same and let me put in my calculations. Well, my calculations say that I should be doing this. We have to get away from that. It's just, it's annoying. Okay. Vince Boyd says, nothing worse than the crowd asking you to turn it up and you're already maxed out. Exactly. I mean, that's like that. And in all honesty, that's like, I mean, never mind. I'm not going to go there. I was going to go a place I don't need to go. I really don't. Okay. You're not headlining if there's no distortion. Why are we acting like we've never been to a basement party? But I'm not bringing out subs if they're paying me 1,000. That's a key too. How much are they paying you? Is it even worth your time? I had one client that didn't pay me jack. I was like, here's some Mackie Thump goes. They're still louder than the speakers you have. It just depends. My GBL PRX ones are literally just fine. Exactly. You should be on Nick Spinelli show, says Mac. Why? Is there a reason? And I like Nick. It's like, I don't mind being on the show. Okay. Look at home internet from cell phone companies catching on, for example. Yeah, I won't be purchasing home internet. No, thank you. I'm already in a place where my cell phone service sucks. So they're not getting another dime out of me. If they tell me, well, if you get the home internet, it's going to actually improve your cell service. I'm going to be like, well, if it'll improve that, if you're telling me that my home internet with the same 5G chips that are in the box is going to be more stable and more consistent, then why isn't my cell phone at my house? I literally live in a dead zone. I have to use the whole iPhone Wi-Fi piggybacking because my signal sucks if I'm not online. Anyway, all right, let's see here. Are you going to be at NAMM? Absolutely. Good. I'll have the rich folks hire me. That's fine. But there's going to be a lot of people that are having the rich folks hire them, and the availability might be a little limited. Okay. Are standards for quality getting reduced, says Kalo? Absolutely. That's what I'm getting at. Yes. People's acceptance levels are considerably lower now. We just tolerate, and we're lazy. We are lazy. We are absolutely lazy. It's our fault. But it's easier. I mean, convenience for me always kind of trumps, not always, but it just depends. But I will choose or opt for convenience if I'm the one that's having to set it up. If I don't have to set it up, like say my roadies set up my equipment, give me everything. Do everything for me. No, what do you mean? Bring the big speakers. Bring the trusses. Hey, I don't care. Bring the TVs. I don't care. You're going to put the flat panels up? That's cool. And then it's like, hey, why don't you do it? I'm like, I kind of think I'm just going to grab my gig bar ILS and a couple of movers. Kind of think that makes more sense for your party. No, you don't need those TVs on your party. No, they just take up a lot of room. They're still kind of small. People in the back, they're going to struggle seeing. Nah, you don't need that. Convenience. All right, come to my booth. Come to your own booth. Oh, sorry, Mac. That was uncalled for. Okay. Let me pop up here because I know I missed some conversations. I don't even own an NPC, but I want one now. Okay. Balance in all things. If you believe that the creator is the ultimate architect of fate and destiny, then it's all in the plan. Evolve or die. But if AI replaces the DJ, then DJ as it exists now will be a cult niche. Okay. We can get into spirituality or, all the Zen things. And I'm not the guy. Because I don't believe in fate. I believe in a higher power. I don't believe in fate. I believe if everything is scripted, then this is a stupid world to live in. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, possible. I mean, it doesn't matter because our AI programming overlords are telling us what to do anyway. Because we're all just, NPCs in somebody's much larger game. But no, I don't believe in fate. How can you believe in fate and just go on with life? I don't know. It's weird to me. It is weird. Okay. There will always be customers that want to save and go the AI path. We just have to adapt and make changes. I've been focusing more on doing lighting, decor, indoor and outdoor, and it's been great. No, DJ Resin, you're absolutely right. Look, when I say things, I'm always, obviously it's a show. So I'm going to go to the extremes for impact. But yes, there's always ways. I mean, just the fact that I'm doing this, DJing, private events versus what I was doing beforehand versus all of my production and all that stuff. We always evolve. We always adjust. We always take whatever skill sets we have or had and put them to use in the future. We always do that. We should anyway. Everything you learn can be applied to anything you do. A lot of the things that I do right now, sorry, my shoulder's acting up. A lot of the things that I do right now, I'm good at because of the things I did before. All of those live shows that I used to do for my band made me more comfortable on stage, made me not fear just grabbing a microphone and talking to 200-300 people that have never seen me, don't know who I am, don't care who I am. It's just a different thing. When I was in consulting, and it had nothing to do with what I do here. It was consulting, literally business consulting for municipal revenue businesses. I worked for a municipal revenue enhancement company that would find money for local government. And then I would consult the local government, meaning the city that you live in, their local government, and explain to them their sales tax revenue, their property tax, forecasting everything, talking about the future and predictions, all those things. And they would ask me a question and, let's say I didn't really know the answer, I would be forced to think outside the box. So what I'm saying is all those things I took with me. So the ability to not put yourself in a corner when speaking, when interacting with people is a skill set, something that I learned over time. So when I talk to clients, when people ask me questions and I give them information, the way I give information never puts me in a position to where anybody can say, well, you said this, because I understand using specific words, specific phrases, little things off to the side that I can use to protect myself. All of these things come from what I mean, I own a business, but all these things that I've learned over time are what have made me who I am. So anyway, okay, let's see here. Radbone says, how do you deal with wedding burnout? Really feeling it after this fall season. How do you go about refreshing routines? That's a tough one, Radbone. Honestly, that's a tough one because I think everybody goes through it. We all. I mean, I go through it with the DJing. I go through it with YouTube. I mean, we even to go through it with family. We get to a point where we're just like, I just need some time away. I'm just over everybody. Now, most people know this about me. When I get to burnout mode for about, 2 to 3 days, I will basically cease communication with everybody for like 2 to 3 days. People are texting me, calling me. I'm just like, I want nothing to do with anyone. I don't want to be on the phone. I don't want to talk. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to look at an email. And that happens probably once every, depending on how hard we've been grinding, maybe once every 6 to 9 months, where I will just reach a point where I'm just like, I'm done. And my YouTube ones are different than my business ones, are different than my family ones. So it's always tough. Now, I've always found that if you're starting to burn out a certain way, especially DJing, typically speaking, you're burning out because you are doing the exact same thing over and over again. And that always leads to burnout. But my way around it was actually picking up other types of gigs, where it's like, you know what? I want to DJ clubs more. I want to go and DJ, this bar or this axe throwing place, whatever it floats your boat, so I started doing more of those, and those allow me to play whatever I want, so it kind of scratched the itch that I was having. And more importantly, it allowed me to kind of discover new music, to organize a little better, to, find stuff and play stuff that I'm like, oh my God, I forgot this was a hit. This is great. And then I can take that to my parties and start trying new stuff, because we burn out because it's the same thing. You get up, you load your van, your truck, you go to the venue a couple hours early, you load up, you set up, then you're playing the same stuff you play for everybody else. And after a while, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially when the energy levels are up here, right? Up here. But then you'll start to get parties where people are difficult, or the party's just not that good, or the energy level sucks, or the room sucks and you're off in the corner and there's 2 different rooms and nobody's coming in. Everybody's going everywhere, so the floor is empty. There's always these reasons why it feels like we are expending way too much energy than we need to. And that can burn you out, but I have just gotten to a point now where I think because I have been doing these other clubs and everything, and it's allowed me to be more creative. Um, when I'm doing parties, I find myself, putting out those routines, bringing in songs that I wouldn't have. Or if I'm at a place where the party just seems like it's kind of trash, okay, let's move a different direction and let's go this route instead. And it just kind of keeps me going. But yes, everybody suffers from burnout. There's no real way around it, especially if you're doing the same thing over and over again. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. Put it in the chat, guys. What do you guys do when you burn out? If you burn out. Because I know some people do this as a hobby. Some people, it's a little side hustle for some people. But when it's a full time, different story altogether. Different story altogether. Let me see here. Mobile DJ, that's you. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself some battery powered stuff. Now, I'm not talking about getting big battery powered backup. What I'm really talking about here is get yourself some battery powered components. This weekend, rainy season in California, we are doing our party. Power goes out. Kids are sad. Kids are crying. They got to go home soon because there's no lighting in there. But we had brought some wireless battery powered up lights. Some Mackie Thump Goes. My microphone could have been wired, but I had my X5 wireless XLRs. The Mackie Thump Go is Bluetooth. I set my Serato to Bluetooth to the Mackie Thump Go, and then I DJ'd right from there. DJing with Bluetooth is so tough. 30 minutes later, the lighting came back on. My equipment came back on. We were rocking like it never stopped. Get yourself some battery powered stuff. It can save your life. Okay, let's see here. Angelo says, I only DJ for the love of it. Yeah, I mean, I think we all, at some point, that's how we all felt. And I still love to DJ. I really do. But I have to earn a living too. So sometimes I got to do things I don't want to do. It's the running joke amongst DJs, and depending on what DJ you are, and I get it. And the older I get, the more I understand what they're saying, but also the more I understand how it doesn't completely apply. A lot of DJs will say, don't sacrifice who you are and your artistry for a party. If they're not hiring you to do you, then it's not worth your energy. And people will say, oh, when I go out and I do parties, if I can't play the way I want to play, then I don't want that party. That's great. More power to you. And in a perfect world, maybe that exists. Maybe you're James Hype or your David Guetta. And even David Guetta, I've been to his shows, will play some shit that is not his, that maybe he probably doesn't want to play. I get it. People are coming to see you. You are the star. But that doesn't apply in private events. And more importantly, it doesn't really apply to most people. Anytime I hear people that are like, well, I only play what I want to play. I'm here for the culture and for the honesty and the religion of DJing. Great. How's your bottom line working out? Because most people that tell me that, most people, I'm not saying there aren't outliers, but most people that are doing it for the religious aspects of DJing aren't making any money. So typically speaking, when you find yourself having to make money, you're going to do things that maybe isn't your favorite. If you go work for a job, I guarantee you, there are aspects of that job that you love. But then there are aspects where you're like, I really hate this part of my job. I like talking to people. I don't like the paperwork. I like construction. I don't like dealing with inspectors. I love to DJ. I hate those idiot drunks. There's always a fine line. So I'm trying to provide for my family. And the most of those people that are always talking about the purity of all feel hella selfish. I know people right now. I know DJs right now that won't work for me because of the purity of DJing and will go and work a nightclub 5 nights a week, paying them $200 a day. You're gonna spend your entire week just to make what normal people. I mean, more power to you. But I don't know. It's not for me. Now, if you have to, I get it. And I'm not here to tell anybody don't do what you got to do to make money. But if there are smarter ways to make that money, and maybe you can cut down on half the potential burnout that you're going to face from working every single day, maybe it'd be better for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. As a business owner, somebody that's just been doing it for a long time, I know I fall into the whole get off my lawn. These kids today, people don't understand. Like, I know that's coming out, and I try not to be that way. But the facts are, the older you get, the more you recognize when people are just going to make mistakes. And you have to let them make mistakes, but that doesn't change the fact that you don't spot the mistakes happening or about to happen a mile away. I am the first person to be like, let them fail. I will help them, but they got to fail. They're never going to learn if they don't fail. And, a lot of people are very happy just doing the status quo. That's not me. It's not me. And there's not a lot of people I think in this chat. Not a lot of people, because I think we're always trying to better ourselves. Always trying to better ourselves. I know I am. I'm always learning new stuff or getting back to music making when I had stopped, because of the love. Now I'm not so much relearning stuff, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what my production workflow is going to be. But, there's nothing out there that I don't want to learn. So it keeps you energetic. It keeps you youthful. And it keeps you in the know. I think that's usually when people start to age, when they fall out of the know, when they get to a point in time, technology wise, they're like, I'm good right here. Here's my level. I don't need to do any more than this. And you know those people. You absolutely know those people. And typically speaking, there's a point where they just stop and you can feel it. And then they're hobbits in their own little hobby town. Yeah, hobbits, hobby. Huh. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Aaron, the DJ in the building. If I haven't said hi, hello. Cold cut in the building. By the way, and I know there's several people in here, but all the videos that I am releasing that aren't embargo releases, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. They're going to go to my members first. So if you're a member, you're going to be able to see any videos that I post, usually 1 to 2 days before the masses. And there will be more member only stuff too. So I'm actually, I kind of like it. I did one on the, I just did my Hercules review last week, and the members only was first. Now, I didn't used to like to do the members only because it didn't tell people that there was a video until I made it public. I wanted people to see, well, there is a video that you could be watching, but you're not. But now there's a new feature in YouTube, which is fantastic. It's kind of like a, like the pre-notification of videos, you know, hey, I got a video coming up in 3 days, like I do for my tech show. Well, before you could only do that kind of pre-release for the video to be released to everybody at the same time. Now there's a feature that says members only pre-release, and then I can still set the time and date, so I don't have to go back in and change anything, and it'll just open up to the public after the fact. Love that. Probably one of the best features that YouTube has come out with, in all honesty. Okay. Let's see here. I know I'm behind, so I'm sure I'm missing. Live streaming DJ sets is a good way to break monotony, even if nobody's watching. I know I get hokey with copyright, but lots of people still stream. So, AJ, you are right. I don't know that it matters that if it's live streaming to nobody or DJing at some small little bar dive, whatever. I just think it's important that you just do something different than what you normally do. Because I don't know, live streaming to me, if there's nobody there, I'm not doing the same thing as if, you know, there's 50 people in the room. That's just facts. I know everybody's different. Doesn't work for me. I need people. I vibe off people. My energy comes from people. I can create energy to a certain degree. But if you want me to be at optimum level, like optimum Cleveland Terry, the more energy's in the room, the better I get. It's just facts of the way I work. I'm not saying that's you. Everybody's different. That's just the way I work. If I walk in and the energy's up there, I'm probably going to do a really good job. If I walk in and there's like, it's, you know, a couple of people here and there. Now I'm not really focused. My energy level's not concentrated on my DJing. Maybe I go more mellow and I could have gone more energetic. These are the things. Everybody's different. I like to be honest with people. I do. Okay. Go make music and dance. All right. King Big says, when I burn out, I will take a break for a week or so because I can turn a lot of gigs over to my 21-year-old son and go back to practice and doing parties that allow me some musical freedom. Okay. G5 says, I've been on a hiatus for about 2 months now because I was burnt out and thought this is just life and kept pushing myself until I had 2 mild strokes. So now I'm just home chilling. Damn, man. Okay. All right. Well, May 1st, I hope here's to a speedy recovery and, yeah, hope everything works out. Aaron, the DJ says weddings are very stressful. I totally understand burnout. Take a week off, go chill, and absolutely find some different types of gigs to burn off some creative, steam. Yep. Exactly. Bone. I'm not at a point that I'm mid upper tier in the area and we run full seasons. And with that, and a full-time job, I have a very little time for anything else. Seriously been thinking of taking it full time. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. When I went full time, I had been working for the revenue enhancement company. I worked there for 15 years. The last 7 years, I did the bar mitzvahs or did the DJ company and also worked full time. So meetings at night, we didn't have Zoom and all this easy stuff that would have made my life so much easier back then. But at the time, I was spending 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, because I had to do meetings and then I had to drive through traffic and then I had to drive home. And then by the time I got home, my kids were literally sleeping. And then I would wake up and do the thing all over again. And I did that, it's not every single day, but I did that for about, I think 7 years. And once I got to a point where my DJ company was making what I was making at my normal 9 to 5, I realized that I could stop doing the 9 to 5 because if I just put that time that I was using for the 9 to 5 into my company, I will end up making at a minimum, probably at least half of my salary that I was making there. And that would have been fine. I basically switched, the jobs around. So if you want to be a full-time DJ that is able to earn a living off of being a full-time DJ, only way to do that is to put the energy into becoming a full-time DJ. Because yes, working that day job does take away from your ability to find opportunities. It does take away from your ability just energy wise. It does remove the oh shit moments. Those moments when you're just like, I need to get my ass up and do something because I need to pay my mortgage. Or you're looking at your bookings and the next 3 months are good and you're looking out and you're like, well, I have a third of the parties that I should have in these other months. I got to get on my grind. And I got to do this. Would you have done that if you had a day job? Do you have anything pushing you to trying to overachieve? Probably not. So you do have to kind of pick and choose what makes sense. The Rev 7 and stems helped me get out of burnout. That's great. I think that's for me too, but still, I don't know. Still not the same. For me. Let's see, DJ Fath from Snowy Reno. Okay. Let's see here. Most people hiring a DJ are looking for someone who fits their bill. You can be an expert plumber who loves installing copper pipe. However, most will just want you to fix their PVC. Yeah, exactly. As I play what the client wants, I don't like country music, but I did a DJ at a party that they wanted a bit of country. I found some bangers at work that got paid. Yeah, I mean, look, I was going to say something real harsh. Nobody likes country, but I know there's a huge area in the world that likes country. I don't play country. I play country probably once every 500 events. So yeah, if I had to play country all the time, would I learn to love it? Maybe. I just don't think it would be right for me, personally. I just know, but I would play it and I would be bob out of my head to house party and, all those things. It's just not my music. Okay. Do you even break dance, bro? Let's see here. I just need a few million. We all do. Want to get to Uruguay, Argentina in 2030. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I just want to get to New York one time. Okay. Let's see here. Where did I just go? Okay. Vince Boyd says, same here. I can't live stream. I get bored after 20 minutes. I need a crowd to feed off of and get reactions from. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Back to quizzing. I'll look forward to the replay tomorrow. Sean Sir in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. All right, pal. We'll see you soon. Liam and Lee in the building. What's happening? Good to see you. I will be at NAMM in 2 weeks? Actually, I mean, not actually. What's the date? Is my birthday is next week, by the way. And let's see here. My birthday is actually on the 18th. That's crazy. My birthday's on the 18th. We're gonna have a show on my birthday? I don't know. We're gonna have a show on my birthday. I don't know. I know this. If we have a show on my birthday, you see Ratbone with the $20 super chat? That right there on my birthday, if there are 115 people in there, that's what I want to see. I want to see that on my birthday. I want to see that kind of love. Not that Will and Jada love. I see that J. Cole love. Do jobs that you feel the most uncomfortable and crush it. Yeah. There's country with 808s now and blends with hip hop. Jay Everyday says that. Okay, look, I'm going to say something. You know those IG reels where the guy says something and then like he turns around and looks back and he's got like old man shorts on and like suspenders and I know I'm got some gray hair. It is what it is. But I'm not old. That's what I'm gonna say here is old. I hate the new country music. Okay, so when they talk about cultural appropriation, when I listen to the new country music with the hip hop stuff, that screams cultural appropriation. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but that's what it feels like. It feels like cultural appropriation. It feels like, oh, you'll dance to the hip hop beats. You'll sing along, but but if I see one of you walking down my street, that's all I'm saying. It's just, it doesn't work for me. And Jelly Roll, I don't even know what that is. I appreciate this man. I appreciate that he's accepted. He's obviously a very different kind of pop person. And he's loved with the hip hop community and loved with the country community. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But more power to him. Go do his thing. But that don't mean that I like what I'm hearing. I don't like it. I don't like it. We did one song. One song. Old Town Road. They were not happy with that. They were not happy with that at all. They're like, hey man, If you're going to do that, watch what we do. I'm kidding. Hey, look, my concurrent viewers just took a dump. What happened? Did I lose an entire half of the United States? Anyway, at least that's what it looks like on my thing here. All music has fused together. Has it? I mean, think about it. Has it really? I mean, hip hop, R&B, rap, those have all been kind of one and the same. That's not going to change. And now we're kind of turning around an entire loop. All the country fans left. They might have. They might have. Absolutely. They absolutely might have. Look, they're back. They're back. They're like, I'm going to prove a point and leave this thing until he stops talking about us. But hip hop, R&B, rap, cycle, just literally has always been the same. And I think a lot of these old school hip hoppers are correct. When they say things like, I don't mind what these new kids are doing with rap in hip hop. I don't mind that. However, just don't call it hip hop. And I agree with that. I agree with that. And not all hip hop, not all rappers. But some of this stuff is 100% not hip hop. And that's okay. Because I think back to groups like Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys would do a song. Well, it's Power 106 where I am, which it still is. They would put a song. So maybe they would do like, I don't know, Get It Together with Q-Tip on Power. And then they would do Sabotage on the alt rock station, or what you want, whatever. And they would release multiple songs on multiple places. And that was fine, but they never tagged themselves as a rap group. They let the world tag them. They did whatever they wanted to do, but they, especially if you listen to some of their last albums, where they went full band back to their roots, I wouldn't classify that as a hip hop album. So, it's just different world. What do you think of I'm a Piano? What do you mean? I'm a Piano's dope. I'm a Piano's dope. It's all, but it's different because when I listen to, okay, there's my opinion. Okay. They're all my opinions. I know, but this is how I think. If you make a pop song, right? And it's clearly a pop song. If anybody else were singing that song, it would be pop. And you put a little twang on your voice, and all of a sudden it's country. That's not country. That's not country to me. There is a sound. Country has a sound. And I'm not going to say I don't hate country. I'm not dancing to country. But there are tons of country artists that I like, old school country artists, that make great music. Like I even like, one of my old school favorite groups, I was playing them just recently. And I know it's not country, it's more like bluegrass, but like, Mumford and Sons is a perfect example. But again, very specific kind of vibe and that I'll listen to. But when I listen to things like, House Party always pops up into my head, but any of that stuff, even that one's more country than what's coming on now. Like I was playing the top music, top new music. I always like to do that on long rides. And, some of the music on there was considered country. There were no country elements to the song. It just happened to be a country singer that was singing it. Taylor Swift was probably smart because remember, her first couple albums were country. And then She moved away from it. Now she doesn't make country records anymore. But obviously she's higher than everybody else. So she can do whatever the hell she wants. It's just I don't know. Old man talk here. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to make a transition on here. I got to transition. I got to do multiple things. One of them is, I got to finish a video for a client. So it's held me back from focusing on really improving this show. But I will. It's just a matter of time. But I need to have like an old man rant. It'd be even better if I could like put something over like a filter where it turns, I'm like 80 years old and I just talk mad trash. But so my Thursday show, I will have my Thursday show. The following week, I will be at NAMM where I will do a Thursday show. I will be at Mobile Entertainment Expo in Vegas the following month, where finally, who would have thought, they actually asked me to DJ their final party. I've been going to the mobile, whatever, mix, Mobile Entertainment Expo for the past 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. And they always have this show. Typically, I mean, they have multiple shows, but then they always have like the final show. And I've always, I've wanted to do it, but I'm not asking to do it. You have to ask me. Because if I ask you, then you don't want me to do it. So I don't want to do it. It's not like doing a nightclub where you have to go into the club and say, hey, I'd like to work here. Those types of things I feel like are Petty Parker. It's definitely a Petty Parker. I obviously need to put my petty white emojis into the members zone. Absolutely need to do that. Gino Myrtle. Let's see, what did Gino Myrtle do? Gino Myrtle with the super chat. Here's to another early birthday. See, that's what I want to see on my birthday. If I don't see that on my birthday, I don't know. Can we really even say that we're friends? Can we do that? I don't know. That's how you do it. From now on, that's how you do it. Thank you, Gino. Appreciate you. All right. Let's see. Kenny says, DJ Kenny, congratulations on MP. He even broke it down. That's what's up. Remember the year me and you watched DJ Scooter together? It wasn't last year. It was the year before. Was it the year before? It had to have been, because I didn't think it was, okay. I'm going to say something that's going to come off harsh, but it had nothing to do with the people. Okay. It has to do absolutely just with what I witnessed. So last year's wasn't as good energy wise. The year before, it was packed. All those photo booth companies were on the dance floor rocking out. And then this year, I don't know what changed. But it wasn't the same. Dance floor was more open. I don't know if it was because the DJs were playing just every wedding DJ set that they ever knew. I don't know. But I don't know. It just didn't work. It wasn't as good to me. The year before was much better. And I think that's when Scooter performed. Yeah. So yeah, and I don't know what changed. Nothing should have changed. Maybe people just got over their end of COVID high. Maybe. I mean, I know some of that has to do with that, but typically speaking, when you have people that aren't DJs at a convention, and the way it works with Mobile Entertainment Expo, half the convention is photo booths, and I would say 3/4 of the convention are photo booths, and then 1/4 to maybe 1/3 is DJ stuff. So it stands to reason that all those people that aren't used to clubbing it out are going to have fun. That's the thought process anyway. It was just different last year. And there was a lot more DJs on the floor last year. And I know that always plays into it. Stop that. And because you know DJs. You guys are horrible. You guys are terrible. You guys are, and look, I'm not to say that I'm not the same. But if I'm gonna be on the dance floor, I'm gonna give you some serious head nuts. If I'm not on the dance floor, I've kind of answered your question for you, because this is how it works for me. And don't ever take it personal. I don't take it personal when people do this to me. It might not be their vibe and not be what they're listening to, but if there are performances happening, I'm typically towards the back, because I'm sorry, some of these conventions just get too loud, even for me. And I'm just like, this is dumb. It's dumb how loud it is right now. And I'll typically stay in the back, talk to people, that are out there, hit the bar up. And the better you get, the better the performance is. I will slowly creep up and creep up and creep up until I'm right in the front. That's the way I work. If you're dope, I'm on the floor right in front of you. If you're okay, I'm in the room. If you're trash, I'm out. Or I'm way, way, way back. Anyway. You know why I DJ? Because I can't dance. That's funny, Aaron. That's funny. Max XBL says, SBL says, at rock shows, you can always tell fellow musicians because they watch the stage and barely move. Yeah, DJs are the same. And because, in general, especially if you're watching a band, you spend most of your time kind of fixated on specific parts of the performance. At least I do this, like I love a track, right? When I love a track, I'm like this, to this. I'm looking at the guitarist. I'm looking at the lead singer. I'm looking at the drummer. Just stupid, sick stuff. I'm looking at the bass player. Bass player is always the hypest, and then the guitarist. And I'm just kind of watching the whole, but watching it in pieces. And I think that's kind of what we do as DJs too. We watch hands. We watch crossfader, we watch movements, but then at a certain point, I don't know that we're ever kind of watching the whole thing. That you kind of have to be back for. The last night at Expo, the bass boss party was stupid loud, couldn't enjoy it. Well, it's a running joke when I talk about bass boss, like legitimately a running joke, and people still don't get it. The room that they do the testing in is stupid small. I've been to their at least their office that used to be in LA. Now I think they moved to Texas, but they had a warehouse, and they would do their wall of speakers, turn them on, click. And my internal organs would shake, move around a little bit to a point where I was uncomfortable and I'd have to leave the room. And they do the same thing on a smaller scale at every convention. And all I can think of is like, well, that's great. You're in a bedroom and you're literally going to 14. Like, that's fine, but this isn't a real world anyway. However, I say that knowing the bass balls, as far as bass is concerned, still makes some of the best bass cabinets on the planet. I'm not dismissing them at all, So, I know that even in that room, if they were to take them somewhere else, they'd still operate the exact same because they're good ass speakers. But God, ugly. Jam Master D in the building. What's going on, fam? Yeah, that's the one thing about baseballs. I do not love the way they look. All right, let me take a look at something here. Knife cut noodles. Okay, let's see. Go to the MPC. Although I think I'm going to ask, that little high pitched. I think I'm going to ask in music if I can get. Hold on, let me get my HDMI cord. Speaking of stems, but the old school way. You know, I stopped making those types of videos because I felt like the amount of work I was doing, people didn't really care about. You know, I thought those used to be my intros for all my videos, and I just felt like people just didn't care. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. All right, let's see here. You know, it's funny. I don't want all these icons up. You guys will start talking trash. Why do you have so many tabs up? I gotta shut some windows here. There it is. Okay. What is going on? Go up to the front. There we go. Okay. All right. So, every time is this. Oh, those are knobs. Okay. I'm like, are those XLR inputs? What the hell's going on? Every time I open up and look at an MPC, sorry, just my chat is in the way here. Every time I open up and look at an MPC, I get little nostalgic vibes from them because I do love the options. I have one of these. I wanted to get one of these. I kind of want to get one of those. All right, let's take a look. MPC stems. Watch MPC stems and that. So is it coming to every MPC or just specific ones? Oh, this is Andy Max. Hear what he showed us this. Hold on, let's see. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna pop this audio in so we're all on the same page. Might be if it starts to give me too many samples, I'm gonna get out of it. But okay, and I need my headphones. Where are my headphones? Where are my headphones? Not these. I guess I can use these. I don't really want to. I have so many V-Moda headphone cases. Just everywhere. Just unnecessary. Where are my V-Modas? They're in my car. Fine. I'll use the Yamahas. Not really the biggest fan. Oh no, these are my Yamahas. These are the Pioneer ones. Anyway. All right. Let's take a listen. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hopefully. See, this mini, I never loved the mini XLR. I always had problems with it staying in and being actual the way it's supposed to be. All right, here we go.
Out the drums, you can just simply turn that part off. And if you don't want to stem out the drums, see our 4 stem options, and we navigate all the use this section. Now we go to process, and we navigate all the way to create stems. Here, you'll see our 4 stem options that you can turn on and off. So if you don't want to stem out the drums, you can just simply turn that part off, and then it won't be included. So we'll turn that on because we want all 4 parts. We can also set up our assignment to our pad, which will send the stems to that location, and we keep trim on, which is using our start and end points. So press do it, and then what it's doing now is processing the stems for us, which takes a few seconds. And then once that's completed, we'll navigate over to our main menu, and now let's play our stems.
Okay, so first off, the most important part is it's pre-processing. So right off the bat, you're going to get a better sample, a better stem, because it is pre-processing. So that's great. I mean, I don't know why even to this day they don't do that on the Prime 4. Everything's already in the database. So why not just pre-process the entire database? That way, at least they're going to be good. No, you're going to need, twice the storage space. But the point is that should be an option. All right. Like I said, if it starts to do too much, have to be demonetized, we're going to pull it. You would think that YouTube would be smart enough that if I played a sample, right, that was flagged, if I play that sample an hour and 40 minutes into my stream, my entire stream shouldn't be demonetized. It should be the moment the sample kicked in and then whatever after that point. That's what I would think anyway. That would make the most sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. Okay. Let's take a listen.
Now in Program Edit is where we can control our 4 stem layers. Take out the bass, drums, vocal, bring it back.
Oh, that's dope.
Take out the music.
And you're looking at me, look at this. I'm so sorry, guys. I meant to show you that. Let me back it up for a second. That's embarrassing. Okay, let's try one more time.
Now, let's play our stems. Now in Program Edit is where we can control our 4 stem layers. Take out the bass, drums, vocal, bring it back, take out the music, bass and drums. Let's bring back the music. Now, as you can hear, the sound quality
It's amazing.
Absolutely stunning. Now, if we also navigate back to sample,
All right, Ratbone. See you
you
soon.
can actually see our 4 individual layers in waveforms. So here we've got our original sample, and now we've got the bass separation, drums, music, and vocals. So here You could do all your traditional MPC chopping in real time or using regions and then save those as a program and then start making beats with each of the individual stems. So let's make a beat out of the stem that we created. So let's go back to our main menu. And what we're going to do now is I want to take out some of the parts from our stem. So I'm going to take out the drums and the bass. And I want to give this a real kind of a hip hop boom bap feel. So what I want to do is I want to pitch up the sample now. So let's go to global and I'm going to pitch it up 5 semitones.
By the way, guys, I know we're just sitting here in the silence. I'm just like you right now. I'm a fan watching what's going on.
Now that kind of puts us in the Kanye kind of Jay-Z vibe. Now what we can also do is add effects such as Flavor Pro to make it even more kind of vinyl driven. With these types of effects, you can see the possibilities of what you can do with a single sample and just removed everything just down to the DNA of just the vocal and the music. So now let's record this. Now let's go to a drum track. Now these are some of Marco Polo's drum sounds from Pad Thai and Boom Bap Essentials. Now we just finish off adding a few extra hats and snares. To another track, and now let's add a bass line. Now we'll use 16 levels. Now that's really in the pocket. So there's our track done. Now let's go to our track view and do some drops.
Ugh.
Now let's go to our inserts and let's add Flavor Pro over our whole sample. I'm going to really give it some more kind of lo-fi textures.
Oh, man.
As you can hear, using MPC stems really does.
Where'd my audio go? There it is.
Using MPC stems really does open up the boundaries.
That's crazy.
Of what you can do with sampling with the iconic MPC workflow.
That is
You can
crazy.
also edit all 4 layers of your stems by pressing the Edit All Layers tab. And now, if you touch the UI and use the data wheel, we can change all of the pitch across all 4 layers. And the Q links will still control the individual stems.
I might need to get one of these. I might need to get one of these. I need to try this out.
Delete any of your stem layers within your program edit just by pressing the delete tab. And then you can also use undo. One of the fastest ways to chop samples is using the chop mode on MPC. Now what we've added with stems is the ability that you can chop the original sample, and then when you stem it out, all of your chop region slices will remain across each individual stem.
Wait, what?
So let's use this sample. And what we're going to do, we're going to go into our chop mode and we're going to manually create our chops. Now, so many of you are going to be used to this method of chopping up your samples.
Okay. Normal, right?
Now, once you've done your chops, we normally go back in, we fine tune our chops, so we can still do this process.
Diesel.
Now, once you're happy with your chops,
You're right.
simply go to process, and we navigate to create stems, and this time we uncheck the use trimmed sample box. Now, when we press do it, MPC is going to create 4 individual stems, but it's going to maintain all of the slice points from our original sample. And once this is completed,
I like how he's doing it in real
go
time
to
too.
our sample. Here's our original. Now here's our bass, drums. There's our melodic.
Jesus.
And then our vocal. And as you can see, all of our chops are in the exact place where we chopped our original sample. So now you can go in, you can fine tune these chops. And then if we hold down and do convert, we can now save this as a program, and we can now use those chops to make a completely different track. Now, the great thing about stems is that we've removed all of our other elements, and we've taken these sample chops from that one layer and created something completely different by removing the drums, bass, and vocals.
Okay.
Thanks for watching this overview of the up and
By the way,
MPC stems feature.
this dude,
It's coming on MPC software first, followed by MPC standalone. And I can't wait to hear what you will do
So
in
it's-
the MPC communities around the world.
so he,
to learn
hold on, he said
what
it's
you will
coming.
do in the MPC community.
So it's coming on the software first.
Thanks for watching this overview of the up and coming MPC stems feature. And it's coming on MPC software first, followed by MPC standalone. And I can't wait to hear what you will do in the MPC communities.
Okay. First off, Andy Mack is a goddamn god. Like, legitimately, it's one of the most impressive people I've ever met in my life. I met him at Sweet Waterfest, Waterfest, something fest. Anyway, and he was. I have a video on him talking about the NPC, and when he just made a track live within literally 3 minutes, and it was beautiful. It just, I mean, I'm never going to be at that level. There's some people out there, him, Jay Black, just dope, just super dope. Some of the stuff they do on there, it's crazy. Dat Son, dope producer. There's so many out there. Gearfest. Thank you, Northwest. I knew it was something. I'm gonna have to grab one of these. I don't even know anymore what NPCs run. Let's take a look. We can go to Sweetwater. Okay. So I wonder what the difference is on these two. Why one is legitimately $500 more. Scratch that, $600. Hardware DAW and software integration. Okay. Oh, okay. Nope. Storage, connectivity, MPC, desktop, internal software only. I see. And a built-in speaker. Gotcha. It's funny. It probably has the same built-in speaker as the as the Newmark mixed room. Everything that they do and in music, they literally just take from one another. So there's definitely some leverage here happening. And the internal battery. I kind of need to get one of these. Because I used to have one of these guys. Not this one in particular, but you know, the 2000 XL, that was my baby. So this one does not have a battery. This has to be plugged into a computer, is kind of what we're getting at here. Yeah, desktop software, Mac PC. Hardware, DAW, and software integrated. Okay. So, yeah, this is the one I need. Or I can do special financing. Okay. All right. I mean, before, there were always limitations, which is why I struggle with everything out there that is that requires me to sit at my desk to do music, because I get inspired on. Do we want to see the approval screen? G Kenny, I'm not gonna buy this. I'm going to contact my people and have them send me one. Silly mortal. Man. So yeah, I'm going to request one. And if I can't get it from the powers that be, I'll request it from another power that be. There's a lot of powers out there. Yeah. I want to try it out. Well, because, and I said this before, I'm going to start producing more. And right now I'm on this weird fence, and this, I don't know if this is a Capricorn thing or a me thing or an Aquarius thing, because I'm on the cusp. I don't know, but I am severely struggling right now with what workflow I should be using. I have an Ableton Push 2 sitting on my desk. I have a Squid right here. Okay. Same thing. Production. Great controller. I have Serato Studio with some Akai, MPC small boards. But the problem is, every one of them, I'm kind of stuck at a desk. Yeah, I mean, I could get an Ableton Push 3, but I don't want something that large. I'm just kind of stuck at a desk. But the MPC Live, how big is it? I think it's pretty, I don't think it's all that big. I mean, I know it's not like the original MPCs. So yeah, Machine has a very nice interface too. You're absolutely right, Gabe. I can't seem to move over to Machine. And, look, about the same. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. It's probably about the same size. And this is doable, especially if it's battery powered and I can throw it into my, my jetpack and just call it a day. Like that would be great. Even when I got this, I'm like, oh, this is dope. Is it standalone? No. Oh, so sad. I was so sad because when I'm inspired, I'm inspired. You're not going to want to lug that thing around. But this guy? No, look, if I get it, here's the thing. Okay, actually, I will demonstrate. Hold on. Let me just grab some stuff here. So, and I feel like I'm getting lower again. I think my seat's falling down. All right, I got tons of stuff here. So I got this guy. I don't think this guy is all that big. I think it's actually, if this is the same size as the MPC Live, right? And I can keep all my samples and everything in here, then this is, I can take this anywhere. Because this I can sit in a chair, I can sit on the couch, I can hit the pads and I'm not bothering anybody. I can sit in a car and make a beat. But if I have to use like Serato Studio, which I love, now I got to bring this guy or, this guy right here and my computer still, and I got to plug it in because there's no, Bluetooth or wireless. So I got to plug it in. So now I have to deal with that. I got to deal with the fact that it's draining the computer. So the other option would be the same option applies to this guy. This is the push. By the way, still to this day, one of my favorite controllers. It's beautiful to work with. It really is beautiful to work with. The problem is, yes, the two problems with this guy. One, it requires Ableton to be on, and then two, which is probably the bigger problem than even Ableton being on, you can't really run this off of USB. You can, but the lights are so weak on the screen because all of this stuff lights up, all of it. Everything here lights up. There's not enough power in your USB bus. So you are required to plug it in. And once you plug it in, now it's stuck. And I don't want, so your other option is just to buy the new Push 3. And it's the same size. It's going to be probably a little thicker because it's battery powered, and it's weighty, and it's big. It's big, I mean, I know we're talking about the difference between thinness, but width, because I think width wise, it's about the same width as the Torres. Same width. Yeah, it's exactly the same width as a Torres, but look how much more room it takes. Now, obviously, because you have 64 velocity pads, that's going to make a difference. But if I'm traveling, I can feel this Ableton push. I don't feel the squid. I don't feel this at all. This is easy. All right. I'm not throwing my push down on the ground, so hold on. That's the one thing you're not going to see me do. Oh, going too far. I mean, literally, this thing is in perfect condition. Barely used. In a smoke-free environment. You know how they say that. All right, here we go. Okay. My seat keeps coming up. All right, let's see here. Whoever makes the first wireless MIDI controller with full integration like the MPC is going to be a game changer. So Charles, we are one degree down where there's actually a company right now that has a super low Bluetooth keyboard. And it's about the size of like this guy. And I was watching the video demo on YouTube. It's the millisecond is super small. I think it's like maybe like 9 or 10. Like it's something ridiculous that is like definitely usable. So what is this? And is it in my cup now? No. So it's a chord thing. Yeah. 3 millisecond latency. I mean, that's is so impressive, so, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try them all. But my biggest complaint when you start to use Serato Studio, my biggest complaint is that nobody else has the freedom to stem things out easily. Yes, I know. I I have stem programs. I've done videos on them. They're fantastic. I'm not taking away from the stem programs. Like Ripix. Ripix is still one of my favorite stem programs. But again, oh, Wadi, and you're late. We just went anyway. Make sure you go back a little bit, Wadi. I love Ripix. I do. It's one of the best stem converters out there. But remember what we talked about earlier: convenience, versus perfection. And if I can get 75% of the way using just Serato stems, why would I spend the time to have to go into Ripx and extract and then pull it in because I'm using Ableton Push or I'm using, Logix or something like that? It just doesn't make any sense. So, and it makes sense. I get it. But the fact that I can do this on the fly, because think about it this way, honestly, if I'm out and about, right? Because one of my big things is why I do like it on a computer is I can pull any song. I can pull any beat. I can pull any sample. I got all my DJ stuff on the computer. It's just easy to drag and drop. I always wonder how hard it is to get the samples into like the MPC Live. Like that's one of my things, but I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming there's some sort of like a wireless hotspot where you're able to transfer samples over. I mean, they were doing that back when I was in huge production. So I'm assuming it's something like that. But remember, if you were out and about and a sample pops up, right? And you're like, because on your phone, it's amazing what you can do on your phone. I pulled tracks and downloaded files on my phone. And I'm like, okay, great. I got it. So let's say I throw it in there. Now it's in there. Now what do I do with it? The fact that he made that beat, stems or without stems, and was able to go back and then stem it out later on and stem out all those little samples in hardware. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Anyway, that's a good note to end on. Spending more money. That's a really good note to end on. I'm going to have to look into that. You know what I'm going to do when I get off this stream? I'm contacting my guys at End Music. By the way, if you're not following Wadi J, especially on IG, you're dumb. Wadi has routines on IG that are pretty damn impressive. I would suggest going there. I would also suggest following him right here on YouTube. He's got a channel, Wadi J. Make sure you follow him. I don't think the MPC Live 2 has wireless sample transfer. I would say this is the only thing I will say. Maybe not. But they're all using the same fundamental like kernel behind everything, which means that if it doesn't, it could. It's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities, so why not just add that in? And we found out from using things like the Prime series that had Wi-Fi that automatically all of a sudden they got Bluetooth because it was just sitting in there and they just decided to turn the module on. I'm pretty sure it's something like that too. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but based upon how they work at End Music, I have a hard time believing they would make anything that couldn't be firmware updated to add more stuff in. But I want one. I'm going to be spending a lot of time at the Akai at NAMM in 2 weeks from now. If Splice integrates local files like Loop Cloud, you might be able to. Oh, that would be dope. That would be dope. Yeah. All right. I got some calls to make. Besides that, we've talked a lot today, and I appreciate all of you for hanging out. I got a couple of reels to make that are hopefully real funny. And let me know in the chat right now before I go. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do this. I was going to do a durability test. I was going to talk about all of the equipment I've been using over the past 2 years. What has survived and what hasn't. Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you think I should do. Let me know. You see what I did there? Isomatic. Just all day. All day. I will say, doing this, doing so many interviews and live shows and all those things, it has absolutely made me quicker to spot things out. Like, on the money now. Hey man, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. All right, y'all. It is 12:10, and I know I got calls today. Not so many today. I started at 1:30. Then I got to run around and be a dance dad. Being a dance dad is terrible sometimes. Like, every other day I'm getting a bill for some ridiculous amount of money, or they need costumes for now. And here's the costume. This is the costume we need everybody to go out and buy. Oh, okay. Well, those are, all white Nike blah, blah, blahs. And it's right after Christmas. Nobody has anything in stock. Oh, well, this is what we need. Try to order them online. It's a nightmare. We've bought the same outfit 4 times. We need to make sure it fits. We need to make sure the colors are right. We need to make sure the shoes are the right size, or the shoes even come. One pair of shoes didn't come. I got to buy another pair of shoes, even though we bought the shoes and we're just waiting for them to be delivered because they're not going to be delivered in time. I'm over dance. If my son, what we are looking forward to, if my son gets in to the college of his choice, because right now we are applying, if my son gets in and he gets in under dance and he gets a full ride or a better ride because of it, it is paid for itself. But if he doesn't, I will be pissed because this has been what my wife's been telling me since he was 5 years old. Well, don't worry. All this stuff's going to get him into college. Don't worry. Don't worry. It'll get him into college. Don't worry. And it is. It's like his auditions, it legitimately, they're getting him into college. If I get that full ride or maybe half the ride or something, okay, you win. You win. You win. Because I've spent a shit ton of money on dance. I would say probably, well, let's see here. When you factor in hotels and you factor in hotels, tuition, choreography fees, outfits, competition fees, I would say 1/3 of my salary goes to dance for my 2 kids. 1/3. And I still feel that it's never enough. All of a sudden it's like, hey, we just charged you. Okay, great. Now we need to charge you for the competition. Okay, well, when are you going to do that? Well, we just charged your tuition yesterday. So we're going to give you some space. We're going to charge the competition in 2 days. You're like, but I just got paid. I got paid. That's with money for tuition. I don't have any more money. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to charge you in 2 days anyway. So we'll see what happens. Anyway. Yeah. Don't tell me I don't love my children. Don't tell me that. You're mean. You're this motherfucker. I pay for everything. I don't want to hear it. You're right. I'm mean because I'm angry. I'm like the Hulk. That's my secret. I'm always angry. Oh, anyway. Nobody else can be adopted by me. My wife jokes about having children. I'm like, you're out of your mind. We will get divorced if you have another child. It won't be with me. It won't be with me. It won't be with me. We are done. I am legitimately wondering when I get to that point, because my son he's a senior, so he'll be done. Then I only have one more, and she's the worst out of all of them. I don't need a vasectomy. My wife's all tied up. We're good. We're good. And I don't cheat. I mean, no black men cheat, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I don't cheat, so there's that. But my daughter, I feel like she's going to be worse. I feel like she's going to be just as bad as the other ones. She's probably going to double up. That's the way she works. But she does want to be a singer too. She's got a good voice. So one of us might be doing more production and pushing her into that. And then she can be that all around person. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I feel like it's just like becoming a lawyer nowadays. Like if you are, my daughter's 12, so it's not like she's a baby. But if you are 5 years old, 7 years old, and they're like, what do you want to be, Timmy, when you grow up? And you say lawyer, like I would never choose anything that AI is going to remove in the future. I mean, that could be everything, but I feel like law is one of those things that's going to happen. I feel like law makes the most sense with AI. Like it totally makes the most sense. We really shouldn't have lawyers or judges. If you do this and you break the law, the AI can go statute, blah, 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 blah. We're in California. That's what this is. This is your penalty. Maybe you only have penalties, ascribed by humans, but we don't need them for law. Law should be easy. Does it? Does AI need data? Kayla? No, and I know, yes, of course it needs data. But if I am driving my car and I'm speeding and I get a ticket, do I need a judge to tell me that I was speeding? I was speeding. If I rob a bank, do I need all the reasons why I robbed the bank? It doesn't make, the laws are the laws. So it should be real easy. I still can't believe we are giving the data for free. Hey, because people understand. I mean, what is the thing that's happening right now? I think it was either the New York Times. They're suing ChatGPT, basically AI as a whole, 3 and 4, trying to get it blocked because what it did was it used their columns to, they scrubbed the data off of that one. And then if you use ChatGPT and you go, oh, hey, go to the New York Times, whatever, and tell me about that article. It will take that article and it could only be like 3 or 4 lines, right? It'll take that article and it will literally write the entire article basically just out of its own algorithm. And they have found that the New York Times or whatever, I don't know exactly which one it was. They have found that it's like word for word, exactly how one of their individuals would write it. Anyway, we talked about that earlier. The interpretation of the law in certain instances, like getting arrested for protesting and such. I understand. I do. And I think what I mean is there will be outliers. There will be times when you need that human aspect. But if you're speeding, you're speeding. The thing wasn't right. I mean, in reality, they don't even need cops for speeding. I mean, you guys remember the Perfect Element? The Fifth Element, sorry. Where Bruce Willis was driving through and he was doing things and cursing and they were like, nope, violation, you're speeding, violation. They don't technically need cops for that. We hit over a certain number and it just dings us. Anyway. Octa Pro, I just have to say you're a dope person. Your vibe and frequency is all the way up. Continued success. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Honestly. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we've gone enough. We've talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and my wife keeps texting me, probably like, "Are you alive? Are you around? Are you here? Can you please check your bank statement and see if there's a hub charge?" See? I don't even know anymore. Money just comes out of my account. Demolition Man was one of them too. You're right. But it was also on The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis. It was on both of them. Why? Because it was all future movies, and future movies are predicting what's going to happen to us. Honestly. The Hub, Rook, is a dance studio, and my kids went there yesterday for some choreography lessons for their competition, which happens. Oh, by the way, competition on my birthday. Yeah, so we leave that evening for competition, Thursday through whatever, Sunday. That's what I'm doing on my birthday. Good times. Anyway, a lot of bottom dwellers in future movies. Anyway, one person's expense is another person's income. How will the circle continue? I'll tell you that, Kayla. Universal basic income. That's it. That's where we're going. It's literally the writing's on the wall. And it may not be for everybody, but it's gonna happen, whether we like it or not. Anyway. Okay, guys, I do have to run. I gotta call in music and go from there. All right, y'all. Am I working this weekend? I am working this weekend. It's start of January, so we're always low. We have 3 events this weekend. And then after that, I got to prepare for my birthday week, right? That's all we do. Birthday week. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have money for birthday week. So it's always funny too, because I'm like, people are like, oh, you make all this money. My money is allocated. It is absolutely allocated. I am lucky I got connections, because who knows what I'd be doing. Anyway, long story short, I do have to roll. I enjoyed today. I'm hearing somebody at my door, so I'm going to go see who that is. Probably my son. Enjoy your weekend. Have great parties, and we will talk next Thursday on my birthday. Remember what I said about my birthday. And make sure you leave a like before you leave. All right, y'all. Peace out.